Gator Dave, welcome in, sir. It's time. The title is here. How you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, and you got to be feeling great, Mike. Your team made it to the final game, man. I mean, goodness gracious, you didn't even give them a chance at the beginning of the year. So
I didn't. I didn't
you
think we'd make
know,
the
I mean,
playoff. I thought it was
no,
nine and three, and then the playoff missed, and here we are. Glad I
here
was
you are
proven wrong.
in the last game, the last dance of the 2025 season, man, coming to an end. Kind of sad to see, man. It's about to get to what they're calling on the boards lying season, because everybody's just going to be lying and talking crap for the next few months about their team and how great it's going to be and blah blah blah. But we got to finish this game first. So yeah, yeah, we'll see. We shall see. We got to play the game, Mike. We got to play the game. So remind everybody, we're Bets Utopia, your number one location for all things sports betting. Please like, subscribe, punch all the buttons. Watch us on YouTube at 8 o'clock on Wednesday nights, and we're not going to stop just yet. And don't forget the podcast as well on Apple, Spotify, and all your friendly podcast locations. I think we're going to talk about 2 weeks from today. We'll have another show that's going to be the 29th of January. So, and we'll talk a little bit about that later. What we might be chatting about in a couple of weeks. But it's time to roll, Mike. And man, I think with your team and what's going on, you want to. I think you should go first this time. I think
Well,
you
I was
should
gonna
go
say you should go
first.
first. You went 4-0 last week in
Oh,
the semis.
I
And you weren't
forgot
e-
to
and you weren't
brag
even
about.
gonna gloat about it. Look how
I,
humble
I
you are tonight.
I know, I know. What can I say? Well, it's been such a less than
It's been
mediocre year, Mike.
it's been a little up and down. It's been a little up
It
and
it
down.
it, it has, but yeah, we were talking prior to the show, and man, had I put that parlay in for those four, would have been nice. It
Yeah.
would have been nice. So I got
Hindsight's 2020.
I know it is. I know it is. And we can't do it all that in Georgia right now. So we'll hope that things change sometime in 2026. They're going to be talking about that again this year when the legislature convenes at the Gold Dome downtown Atlanta. So fingers crossed that maybe that gets across the line. So we'll see. But yeah, 4-0. Got the over under, got the point spreads on both games. So it was good stuff. Good stuff. So all right. So I'll go. I'll give my usual statistics for what we've got going on. So last we checked, and we still got a few days till the game. I think Mike, it's 8.5, right?
Yeah.
Indiana getting 8.5. It jumped up from the 7.5, and it made my decision a little easier, in my opinion. Over under 47.5, because
Eight.
that actually
48
dropped.
and a half.
It's 48. Okay, 48.5. This one's on next Monday night, January 19th, Hard Rock Stadium. So the Canes are playing a home game. So a lot of people are saying, "Oh, there'll be so many Hoosiers fans there." It's just really, really, man. That's
I
just
think
kind
I
of
think
weird.
unfortunately I was gonna tone on this, but since you brought it up, uh, it might be a home game for Miami, but inside the stadium, I think it's gonna be a sea
Yeah,
of red, and I am worried about that. When they run
that's
out of that tunnel thinking that
yeah,
they're going to have support at their backs and they realize it's 80-20 in favor of Indiana fans in their home stadium, that might be a little bit of a mind, what. So I am
yeah.
slightly worried about that. I mean, we were talking about it before. The ticket prices to get in the premises of the stadium. Parking tickets
Yes,
are over $750 just to park near the stadium, let alone the ticket prices. You said I think were 3,000
3,000,
for the
3,000 right
nosebleeds in
now.
the end
Yeah,
zone.
yep,
Last row possible, 3,000 to watch this game.
yep,
That is
yep.
insane. For Miami
It's
fans,
nuts.
they're going to tailgate at their house. they're going to
Yeah.
tailgate. They might group together and do one
Bars,
big tailgate in the parking
yeah,
lot, the bars,
yeah, yeah,
wherever.
yeah,
That's what has me worried in this
yeah.
one, is that we actually aren't going to have the fans that we should in the stadium because of these ticket prices.
Well,
So that,
you saw
I
what
mean, it's
happened
insane.
here in Atlanta. I mean,
Oh
holy
yeah.
crap. It
I
was
mean, it was
90
90, it was 90
90 10.
10. Yeah,
90
easily.
10. I mean,
Easily. And
damn.
that's what worries me. And that's what worries me.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
Indiana fans are passionate. We've seen it in other sports, especially basketball.
Yeah.
When when their sport and when their team, when their university, when they're doing well, those guys want to be a part of it. And with it being the best, literally the best season in the history of this football program,
Football.
which
Yeah.
has been almost 150 years old at this point, they're going to want to show up for it. It's history in the making, and that's what worries me. So I do think that could be a factor.
Yeah. I agree. If it's tilted that far, if it's 75 or more, I think it's going to play. If the Canes get in there at 40% or a little better, then I think it's going to help. But damn, it was such a huge deal at Mercedes-Benz. Huge, because we're going to
Yeah.
talk about the stats here in just a second, and it's like, I'm telling you, the fans made a big difference. And shout out to Evelyn. She's here with us to start this thing off. She's been an Indiana fan this whole time and rooting them on since day one. All right. So Miami comes in this one 13-2, and Mike said Indiana is 15-0. They got a chance to obviously be the first team to ever go 16-0. Mike, you know who went 16-0 in Miami? The Miami Dolphins, Mike. They had an undefeated season there, 16-0. You weren't born, but
And
I was
and we
around.
haven't
I was
done
around for
shit since, Dave.
that.
It it's been
19.
almost
It was
55 years and we haven't done anything
1972, wasn't
since.
it?
Yeah.
72, right? Yep.
Yep.
So
Don
interesting.
Shula.
Fun fact that I just came up with. So, all right. So Indiana, only undefeated team. They beaten Ohio State. They beat Alabama, and they beat the Oregon Ducks not once, but twice. And the semifinal game, quite embarrassing for the Ducks, 56-22. There was no doubt in that one. But the interesting facts about that game that I just talked about a second ago, the Hoosiers actually had 26 less yards of offense than the Ducks did. However, Mendoza, he was only 85%. So, only 85%, 177 yards passing. Um, Indiana was 11 of 14 on third down. Uh, Ducks lost 2 fumbles and an interception. Obviously, that had a lot to do with it, and other factors. Like I said, I think the fans paid a major player in this particular game. So we look at Fernando, Heisman winner from Miami, Florida, 3,349 yards on the season. He was 73%. He's been throwing 80% though in the playoffs. 41 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. Obviously, the Heisman winner, he ran for 284. Indiana has 2 stud running backs. Hembry, 1,060. Black, almost 1,000, 961. I mean, fire and ice right there, man. And you couple that with Fernando, and it's just crazy. And the thing about, I mean, this guy, he throws it on a dime. I'm trying to remember, Mike, the receiver's name. He threw 2 passes to this guy. He's like their popular receiver, and the guy went up, and he is draped by the Ducks guy, and he comes down with it, and like it was nothing. I mean, they looked so good in that game. It was impressive. It was impressive for sure. So, a couple other things in their close games, because I'm going to talk about how Miami can have an effect on this. So in their close games, Ohio State won by 3, Penn State won by 3, Oregon in the first game was a close game. All those teams held the Hoosiers to 3.5 yards of rushing or less. They've blown away 4 more in every other one of those games. So, secret sauce is get that, have a huge effect on that running game in order to make it happen. Um, Ohio State had the number 7 rushing defense. Oregon's was 26. Penn State was 59. The Hurricanes, in terms of rushing defense, number 5. They're good at stopping the run. Now let's look at the Canes. 2 losses early in the year. October 17th to Louisville, November 1st to SMU. They beat a Pitt team coming into the playoffs, and then they whipped Ohio State. They beat the Rebels. I mean, and making it happen. In the game against the Rebels, Miami had 459 yards of offense, and I know you wouldn't have believed it, but my gut told me in that game. That's why I went over that defense was not what it was made out to be at Ole Miss, and it surely happened because they ran all over their ass. So 459 to 398 for Ole Miss in that game. So Canes had the ball. This was an interesting stat. The Canes had the ball 68% of the clock time. Shit, that never happens. 68% of the clock time. I mean, really, it was quite dominating, until that QB started working his magic, and which he always seems to, which is what worried me in that game. But I did go with the Canes. But the other thing, Canes had 10 penalties for 74 yards. That didn't help him at all. That kind of hurt and made the game closer than what it could have been. So we look at Beck. He's got 3,581 yards on the year, throwing at 73%, 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. Fletcher over 1,000 yards, 1,080, averaging 5.5, 10 TDs. So Miami, they beat Ohio State 24-14. And Indiana only beat Ohio State by 3 a month ago. Something to chew on there, right? The Canes held Ohio State to just 1.9 yards rushing for a total of 45 yards. Again, Miami can stop the run, which I think is the key to this game. But when I kind of look at things all together, it's hard for me to doubt Cignetti and just the guy's mind, what's gone on so far this year, what he's done. The Bama game. I mean, he's just got it together, and I honestly am starting to feel like we've got the second coming of Nick Saban. I said it in our little chat, our fantasy football chat, that it feels like Saban 2.0. But Indiana's defense, they're going to do their best to stop the run and make Carson Beck throw the ball. I think if they can do that, Beck could slip up and we could pop an interception or two, which is what I'd be concerned about if I'm a Miami fan. But here's how I think it goes. I am going to say Miami with the 8.5 points. I'm also going to say it's going to be over the 48.5 just because of the way the Hoosiers play and they want to drive and score. I think the same thing's going to happen. It's going to force Miami to score. So that gives me that over. But at the same time, if I were to do that parlay, I would say Miami 8.5 over 48.5, and I would go Indiana, and the money line would be the parlay that I would play, because I think Indiana's going to win this game. I think it's going to be a good game. So that's kind of where I am, Mike.
We're here. All right. I'm sorry, Evelyn. You're enemy number 1 this week. Okay. I don't know if you saw, Dave. During that semifinal game when they were blowing out Oregon, fans were throwing down the U in the stands. They were already eager to play us before that game even ended. You brought up some of the stats from that game against Oregon and how the fact that Oregon actually outgained them in that game. Um, I understand Indiana's scores right now are looking really good. They are looking amazing. Some would even call them a generational team.
Too
I'm not
early
ready
to.
to I'm not ready to do that yet. I don't care if they're 15 and 0. Their schedule's weak. You look at the teams that they've played, they've squeaked by a couple of teams that they should have killed. I'm not completely sold on this Indiana team. Here's why. That game against Oregon, the game they just played last week that they won 56-22, that wasn't because Indiana did anything astronomical to win that football game. Dante Moore handed them that football game, okay? Threw a pick six, first play of the game. Fumbles it on his own 5-yard line. Indiana scores, I think, 2 plays later. It was all downhill from the very jump. It was 3 turnovers total. But the issue that I have with taking this Indiana side is their defense. Even with all those struggles that Oregon had on offense, they still were 8 for 13 on third downs. So they were moving the football. Like you said at the beginning, they actually outgained Indiana in that game. They were moving the football. Dante Moore just sort of got in their way. I hate to put it on one player in a team sport and in a team situation like that, but if you watch the tape and you watch how he played in that game, it was terrible. It was everything that they needed to not happen happened in that way. On the flip side, Indiana, not to discredit them, they did what Indiana does. They are very disciplined. They have one of the oldest teams in all of college football. 23 years old is their average age of their players on their team. Signetti's smart. He went out and recruited guys that are experienced, they're hungry, they have something to prove, and you can see what they're doing on the field to the teams that they play. I just don't think that I don't think they've faced a team of Miami's caliber yet. And I hate saying things like that because I don't want to come off sounding like a homer and sounding like I'm biased, like, some fan bases like the Steelers or, others that just, blow smoke. Legitimately, this is going to be the best front four, potentially front seven that Indiana has faced all year long in terms of offense to defense. This is going to be the best offensive line that Indiana's front seven has faced all year long. Our secondary, last week we had 2 guys get hurt. One guy was hurt in the middle of the game. Another guy missed it entirely, who's our starting number 2 corner. And then also another corner ended up getting a targeting call in the 4th quarter. So he's actually going to miss the first half of this game coming up. But I think the fact that we're getting those guys back healthy, we're getting Ahmad Moten back in the defensive tackle position. He's our number 1 defensive tackle. He sort of is our plug in the middle. He is full throttle in practice right now, according to Mario Cristobal, so he's expected to play. I think it's all in. I don't think there's going to be any distractions. It is going to be an amazing, amazing game in terms of competition. For that reason, I'm going to go with the under 48.5. I think this is going to be one of those classic SEC versus Big Ten type of games. And yes, I said SEC because this Miami team right now is built very similar to an SEC program. A top-notch offensive line and the top-notch defensive line, trench play, secondaries. They pressure up front, so it allows the secondary to play more aggressive, go get the ball. On offense, they're going to ground and pound you all night long. Pause. This is one of those types of matchups. It's going to be who's the more physical team and who wants it more. And that's why I'm going to go with the under because I think both of these teams are going to be scared to make a mistake. I think Curt Cignetti might get a little cocky. I think Indiana in general is coming in cocky in this one. Heisman Trophy winner, Coach of the Year award back-to-back for Curt Cignetti. Again, 15-0, a lot of smoke being blown up there, hoo-ha right now. Miami on the flip side, they still have something to prove. Job's not finished. If we lose now, it doesn't matter how good of a year we've had. It doesn't matter the progress that we've had. Yes, we can look at it, in 2 weeks from now when we're talking, that next show before the transfer portal closes and that next signing day, we can talk about, moral victories and little things like that. But right now it's win or loss on the field, and that's all that matters. I trust in Miami to get it done. I trust in the coaching staff. I really want to say we're going to win this game. I really do, but it's going to be tough. I think that 8.5 points is extremely disrespectful. I think that 8.5 is an easy cover all day long for Miami. Give me the under. A little bit on the money line, and maybe some hopes and prayers. But it's it should. I mean, it's going to be a great one. It's going to be a great, regardless of who you want to win in this one. It'll be a slugfest. So that's going to be the best part.
Yeah, I totally agree, Mike, and that's obviously why I'm going with the Hurricanes and the number, because there's a lot of people out there disrespecting. You're getting a lot of disrespect on the U there, buddy, because a lot of people think that it's going to be the same shit that we saw at with Oregon, but we talked about the stats and the reality of it. I mean, Dante Moore is not going to the NFL now because somebody finally got in his ear and said, "Dude, you ain't ready.
No.
You are not ready for
No
that."
way.
And
No
I didn't think I didn't see where it was going in anyway, because their schedule was soft too. So it's like,
yeah.
I never saw it anyway. I was totally blown away when I saw that was going on. But let me tell you who the kid from.
Also, we're forgetting the fact that Oregon was without their top 5 running backs in that game. Also, they also lost a few wide receivers. Evan Stewart, their main wide receiver going into the season, he didn't play all year long. I mean, I'm just saying, I'm not discrediting anything that Indiana has done. It's been a tremendous year. They've earned it. They've got the W's regardless of how the game's gone. They finished the games. Not discrediting them at all. I'm just saying, I don't think they're as invincible as everybody is making them out to be. That's all.
I agree.
I've seen a lot of comparisons. Hendu in the chat, shout out to him for joining us. Public House, I appreciate you. Go Miami, thank you, sir. But Hendu makes a point right there. Signetti is not Kirby Smart. It's
not yet.
It's it's different.
Got a long way to go.
It's different. I think he's a great coach, and that's also a big factor in this game. Mario Cristobal, historically speaking, has not been the best game day coach. He's a great recruiter. Game day coaching, timeouts taken, decision making, when to go for it, how to go for it, hasn't been the best in the past. I have been ecstatic with the way that they have gone about handling their business in terms of play calling, timeouts, aggressiveness. It's been awesome in this last 5 to 6 weeks when they sort of had the fire put to them and they kind of it was do or die time. Mm-hmm. Absolutely awesome. If we'd been doing that from the jump, I remember when we went to the Florida Miami game at the beginning of the year, and we were on your 40-yard line, I think 4, 5, 6 times, and we punted it every time. 4th and short, 40-yard line, and we punted every time. Mm-hmm. And last week against that Ole Miss team, sure enough, 4th and short, 40-yard line. I thought, oh my God, here we go. We went for it, got it, ended up going down, scoring a touchdown. I just think there's more.
somebody's helping him make those decisions, which is good,
I'm
and that's how
fine
it
with
should
it. I'm
be.
fine.
It
Yeah,
should
that's
be
how it
a,
should be.
you
That's how it
know,
should be.
because they've got guys
Somebody,
now. I mean,
somebody getting his
you
ear.
it's great. I mean, you got more
Yeah.
coaches now than you ever had, and there's people
Hopefully we'll
now
retain them.
making those
Hopefully
decisions.
we're able to
So
retain these coaches too going into next
yeah,
year, specifically our defensive coordinator, because
yeah, I know.
he's going to be a hot
He's
commodity.
yeah, he is. Yeah, he is. I'm surprised, but he's only been there a year, so I guess that's why they hadn't jumped. It'll be. I think you got another year with him because there's not a lot going on right now coaching wise. So I think you got another year, but after that, you're done, dude. I mean, I promise you that guy's got a job. So
Yeah.
unless you guys fall on your face and do a Seminole dive, but I don't see that happening. But this game's going to be fun, like you said, Mike. It's going to be exciting, and a lot of factors rolling in, like you said, with the crowd. I think that could edge a point or two.
I
Make a
mean,
point or two
it's a
difference in this
lot that
game.
goes
So
into it. Are Miami guys going to be more comfortable because they're sleeping in their own beds at night also? Are they going to look past this team because it's not, in a hotel room that they got to get up at 5 a.m. and everybody's together in the same area and in the same you know what I mean? Like, there's different dynamics. These kids are still 18 years old. It may not be on the Indiana side, but on the
20, I
Miami
checked it.
side, I mean, we
20,
we got some
20 on your
youngins.
side. Yeah.
We got some youngins. So
20 to 23 is the age difference in these teams. So yeah.
it'll be
No.
interesting how we react. There's going to be some adversity, that's for sure. I hope we got to start off strong. You can't have that sort of situation that Indiana did to Oregon last week with that pick six off
Oh
the jump. I
man.
mean, you can't.
And
If
and
that
just ran
happens
it
in this
the
game,
ground.
ooh, could be ugly.
Yeah.
Could be ugly.
It,
It's
it, it can
got to
get
be
over.
competitive from the jump.
It can get over real fast. But so looking forward to it, Mike. And I'm hope you guys can do it. We'll see. It doesn't really matter at this point in terms of our rivalry. I mean, you guys are going to out recruit us for a while, no matter what. So whether you
You
guys
said it
win it
right, man.
all or come in second, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to check the. We'll see where the recruiting stats are too. That'll be one of the things we'll add on the next show to see how those come out because they're kind of flipping around right now because of the portal, and Miami's going to have a little bit more time to think about who they can get. So should be exciting. Remind everybody we'll come back in 2 weeks. Wednesday night, January 28th in 2 weeks. Again, we'll look at the final game. Hopefully Mike will be super happy. We'll look at early rankings, transfer portal, and a few other topics as we roll through. And we appreciate everyone that jumped on. Hindu's crying over there, so
He's always crying.
man, dude, what are you crying about? It's more, man. We're coming back for more, buddy. So all good. Appreciate everybody being in the chat. Public House, Hindu, Evelyn. Thanks so much for being in the chat, and we'll see how things go,
1-0.
Mike. Good luck to you, sir.
1-0, Dave. All we need. 1-0. 1-0.
That's right. One at a
Come
time,
on.
baby. One at a time. One game at a time, baby. Next up. Good luck, Mike, and we'll see how it goes. We'll talk soon.
Good luck to everybody. Appreciate y'all watching, sticking with us this season. It's been a blast. If you have not already, please go ahead and give us that like down below. Give us that subscription as well so you don't miss next season. We do a lot of preview stuff throughout the off season. We're still going to have one more show, like Dave said, in 2 weeks. But definitely make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything in between now and then. And our podcast people, go ahead and give us that 5-star like there as well. Give us a follow. We really appreciate y'all all season. Good luck this weekend. Evelyn, good luck to your team. Either way, this is a win-win for both of our teams. So good luck. But it's one right answer.